Hello and welcome back to the channel. We are launching this Orlando edition. We're sharing 3 things we don't always share on the channel. How we've lost 6 figures. Some of these are opportunity costs, some of these are actual just straight up expenses. But these are the major things that you need to avoid. If you are playing this game, this can save you hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars if you play it better than we did in our first 2 years. So here we go.
Welcome back to the channel. My name's Cody, this is Christian, and today we're talking about how we lost money, opportunity cost, and actual cash. Both of those suck. Now the first one is our capital structure. When you're buying real estate, you can buy whatever you want, but it comes down to deal, then debt, then equity. And we structured the debt and the equity wrong.
Yes.
We got $1.7 million seller finance, which was beautiful because it was at 4% interest. The problem was our equity down, we did a fixed buyout on a 5-year agreement. We bought those people out in 6 months. Now, for those who like IRR, your flags are probably going off because you realize the IRR went up. And who's paying for that IRR? Us. Well,
yeah.
that cost us a lot of money.
If you like borrowing at 200% interest, that's a great structure to do. If you don't like borrowing at 200%
Per annum,
you need to figure out a different way to do it. See, what we did is we went, okay, this is a great deal in 5 years. Because we made a decision, we didn't do a step up over time. What you want to do is you just put a simple clause in there that says, if we buy you out early, it's going to be essentially free. So stay tuned for that one, because that was the, I think, biggest surprise to us. It may not be surprising when you're starting out with no experience and no money that you don't optimally structure your deal. Number 3, I got blindsided by that one. I know you did too.
Oh yes. Well, what's number 2?
So number 2 is the actual time to build systems. What we found is if you know creative finance and you've learned that you can buy anything with or without money, you can buy a bunch of projects. And as Cody mentioned in our last one, we bought some projects that by themselves made multiple millions of dollars. It's really fun to knock those out. What we ended up doing is we knocked out a whole bunch of those at the same time with only 1 or 2 maintenance people who were okay at turning a few units.
At best.
We got to a point where it was midwinter, the hardest time to lease, and we had a portfolio which we were acquiring to the speed we complete a project. Where that cost us a bunch of money is those properties did not cash flow through the winter. Most of them broke even, some of them cash flowed a little bit. But had we leased them up sooner, we would have been able to refinance them when rates were lower. Now, because we have long-term fixed rate debt, we'll continue to cash flow them and they're now stabilized. But that big cash out event that could have rolled into our other portfolio or restructured our other debt, out the window, gone. We have to wait until a different rate environment or until we've improved the assets further.
And we missed a 4.6% interest rate, 10-year fixed interest only. We missed it by a month. So kicking ourselves on that. But we lost out on a lot.
Yeah,
there.
Practical step there. Scale, control your scaling. And this is for every single business. You don't just want to scale because you can. We had a lot of opportunities. We've made a lot of money on those opportunities. If we had slowed down a little bit, structured a little differently, or just put more emphasis and energy into how we're going to knock out these systems, that would have been 6 figures. And granted, we've been doing this together for about 2 years. But that would have been another multiple 6-figure exit that we could have had that would have made a huge difference. As you go through, starting with no money, having 100 here, 100,000 there makes a huge difference in what you can do in your business.
Now, number 3, and this is super important because nobody's talking about it online, and most of the CPAs that I've found that are in the business, some of the top folks that are working with people that we know, that are, like, so one of the people that we connected with actually funded the Robinhood, and their CPA didn't understand this. But there's this thing called inside and outside basis. And nobody's talking about it, and that cost us, between the two of us, 6 figures of cash that we didn't expect.
Yep.
Because we weren't entitled to claim some of the write-offs we thought we were. Christian, can you give a little bit of insight on what we learned?
Yeah, so I'll do this on a 101 level. So disclaimer, we're not CPAs. Consult your CPA about your tax situation, but here's how it works in general.
And if they don't understand inside basis, get a new CPA.
Immediately. So your outside basis is very simple. This is what everyone understands. It's your equity. So on our first deal, everyone owns 20% of the deal. There's 5 total partners. We bought out the other 3 within the first 6 months. But you're all 20%. Your outside basis is we all own 20% of this LLC. There is a cost seg that has a bunch of depreciation that we're taking as bonus depreciation, and we all get our 20% of that. Outside basis, super simple. I own 20%, I get 20%. And you do get that 20%. However, how much you can claim on your personal taxes is related to your inside basis. That is how much cash you have in the deal. Now, this matters a lot more on our channel with our strategy than this might in other places, because we'll often buy deals zero money out of pocket. If you have no personal capital invested, even if you own the asset, even if you have the depreciation, it can even roll into the next year. Your basis is still zero. Now, Cody, what are some of the things you can do to increase your basis outside of just putting your down payment?
Well, you can contribute more money. That is something that we're doing right now on the Robinhood. Every single year, for those who didn't know how we got lower money down on the Robinhood, we signed up for additional down payments. So we're doing an additional down payment of about $250,000 in 3 weeks. Our basis is now higher.
Yes.
We've contributed more money. On the 38plex, we've contributed about $700,000 in renovations.
Yep.
We have a higher basis now. We've put more money in.
Now, where this pinched us on $100,000 is we bought it at the very end of 2021. We bought the property zero down, which means our inside basis is $0. In 2023, we invested that $700,000 into the property. For 2022 taxes, we had a massive multi-six-figure write-off we are unable to use in the tax year. Now, it will roll over to 2023, and now our basis
Which is good because we need it.
We will need it because we have made some money in 2023. It will come into play again, but if you were factoring like I was, I'm in the middle of building my primary residence in Texas right now. It is being built. Having to write an extra, for me, about $50,000 check was unexpected. You don't want an extra $50,000.
And mine was larger than that.
Yes, it was. I've seen Cody's. Those little things that you learn along the way is why you, well, one, you follow YouTube channels like this. This is why it pays to have a mentor. Anyone can learn this with or without a mentor. We did. Most of this we learned on ourselves. We found CPAs, we found sellers in our market who helped us along the way, but we didn't have a dedicated mentor. Our goal in some of our mentorship things is like, hey, if you dive in, you do the $5,000, you're gonna save a few $100,000 down the road. And that's really what you're looking at. It's not, can I do this with or without guidance? Find someone who's made the mistakes so that you don't have to make them. That's why we launched this channel, and that's why I hope you enjoy, like, and subscribe on this video.
Yeah, so do that thing, and we'll see you next time.
See you on the next episode.